So, jetzt ist aber der richtige Regler. Oha, so, das funktioniert. Jetzt muss ich noch einmal den Link bei Instagram hochladen in die Bio, damit die Leute das auch sehen. Und dann geht es los. Genau, das habe ich schon. Zack. So, Leute. Jetzt warten wir mal, bis ein paar Leute kommen. Tonmäßig müsste alles gehen, ne? Alright. Moini, Johnny. Schön, dass du da bist. Oh, ich habe jetzt vergessen, die Story zu machen, ne? Oh. Aber ich habe noch ein zweites Handy. Kann ich doch einfach schnell eine Story machen? So. Hier kommt jetzt ein Livestream mit meinem Track. So, dann kann ich auch mal ein bisschen was zeigen, wie es aussieht. Und zwar so. Das ist mein Ableton. Und ich habe jetzt, mein Livestream ist, oh hallo, so viele Leute, 6 Leute, voll schön. So Leute, in meine Bio findet ihr den Link zum Livestream. Wäre super, wenn ihr da einschaltet. Oh, genau. Und dann kann ich so ein bisschen was zeigen in Bezug auf meinen Livestream. Servus, moini, hallo Leute, schön, dass ihr alle kommt. So. 7 Zuschauer. So Leute, ihr müsst aber leider alle zu YouTube wechseln und der Link zum Livestream ist in Bio. Also in Bio einfach reingehen und gucken. Warte noch ein bisschen auf ein paar Leute und werde was erzählen, ein bisschen gleich auch. Kann mir jemand von euch, also, ja, ihr seid noch gar nicht da, ne? Ich wollte schon fragen, ob ihr das sehen könnt, aber wenn ihr bei YouTube nicht reingekommen seid, dann könnt ihr es auch nicht sehen. Alrighty. Danke für die Info. Auf jeden Fall weckern, einfach einschalten per YouTube und dann fangen wir an. Ich gucke es mir auch noch mal kurz an, wie das jetzt da aussieht. Und dann können wir gleich starten. Ja, ich habe 4 Zuschauer. Das ist doch Wahnsinn. Voll gut. 5. Ja, Leute. Voll cool. So, ich werde jetzt einfach so erzählen. Aber ich wollte noch die Story machen. Ne? So, ganz kurz. Dauert jetzt noch eine Sekunde. Aber ich will noch mal den Link in die Story packen. Nicht nur im Bio. Und dann können wir gleich starten. Und zwar, was brauche ich jetzt? Weil ich kann es einfach erzählen, ne? Scheiß drauf. So, dann können wir einfach mal starten. So, Leute, was haben wir hier? Wir haben hier Madonna. Genau, also alle immer schön rüber auf YouTube gehen und dann werde ich ein bisschen was erzählen. Madonna. So, von vorne. Ich habe jetzt irgendwie gar nicht, also ein bisschen geguckt, was ich so gemacht habe in dem Track und was, genau, allgemein so wie das irgendwie so, ich habe mir so ein bisschen Gedanken gemacht, muss aber sagen, jetzt nicht mega doll durchgeplant, Stück für Stück und von daher kann es schon sein, dass da jetzt, genau, nicht alles so immer sofort schnell klappt, aber es kriegen wir irgendwie alles hin. Ist auch mein erstes Mal. Ich habe nur 2 Stunden gebraucht, um den Ton einzustellen. Und habe dann mit 1000 Workarounds das aber geschafft. Von daher ist es auch gar nicht schlecht. Ja, so, von vorne, wo fängt man an eigentlich bei so einem Ding? Man kann kurz irgendwie reinhören und sich die Spuren angucken und was man schon so sieht, ich habe eine Spur mit den Vocals, das ist ja nur das hier. Genau, das ist unsere liebe Madonna, die ich irgendwo online gefunden habe. Ich weiß gar nicht, welche Webseite das war. Auf jeden Fall sieht man auch schon einiges, dass ich ziemlich geschnibbelt habe, um mir eben die Sachen anzupassen, so wie ich die haben wollte. Bisschen was bearbeitet und dann habe ich den ganzen restlichen Kram hier gepackt. In die andere Spur. Ganz kurze Unterbrechung. Hallo Leute, die nochmal hier eingeschaltet sind bei Insta. Ihr könnt über den Link in meine Bio hier zu YouTube rüberkommen und euch nochmal anschauen, was ich hier so erzähle zu dem ganzen Stuff, ne? Genau, ich präsentiere heute noch ein paar Sachen zu meinem Track, wie heißt das nochmal? Hang Up. Genau. So, dann oh, da sehe ich gerade, jemand möchte. Jetzt ist die Frage, soll ich das auf Englisch machen? Hier kommt eine Frage, ob ich das auf Englisch... Ich kann das auch auf Englisch machen eigentlich, ne? Von daher, also ich versuche das irgendwie zu machen. So, alright, so I will try to do it in English. I hope you will understand my English in the way I speak. So, what I did, I made two groups. One group is about, one group was with the vocals, and in the other group I put the rest. I did it to mix it better, to put the vocals better into the, yeah, I'm doing it in English now. So it was, I have a plugin which somebody showed to me. Apparently it was meta text. So I learned quite a lot from him, and he showed me this plugin, and I used the sidechain function. So if you see I have a vocal, I just start from here. So in order to put it into the rest of the instruments and to put inside of the mix, I use this plugin called Soothe. So what it does, it's like a harmonic suppressor, and I use the sidechain function of it. You can see it here in the corner. So I put just this hang up a cappella track, and every time it plays, it ducks the harmonics that are used in this. Hallo Leute, voll schön. It suppresses the harmonics and puts just the sound better into puts the vocals better into the rest of the music of the tracks. Yeah, so we have not so many groups, and just I put it into different groups, like here's a kick and stuff, and I would just say we'll just go through it from the beginning to the end and just talk about it. And if you have some questions, you can just write into the chat, and I will try to answer them as far as I can, and I understand. Yeah, so what you need to do to build such a track, you have to have an idea what you like, and what's your favorite track, and be lucky to find some stems online with the vocals, because it's much easier if you're just free, or you have more freedom if you just have vocals alone, like I have it here isolated. It helps a lot. And then I found, what did I find? I found, we don't need this. Then I found an instrumental of that track, and where is this? It's here. It might be quite loud, I don't know. yeah, nothing special. But I think I ripped it from YouTube. If I should be honest with you, I just took it from YouTube, downloaded it. I don't know if it was the best quality. I don't actually think so. If you rip it from YouTube, that's why it was like it worked and nobody cares still. That's why I just said let's do it like this. Yeah, and then I took some pieces of this instrumental, like here. And some. So actually that's this, and if you have a look, I have to look what I did. I made a big low cut because I didn't want the kick in the drums, so you can hear the kick a little bit. Actually, if you listen to it carefully, put in the loop. There's a few things. If I do a lot, there's a low cut and the bass and everything. But I didn't want to have it because I wanted to do it on my own, and I wanted to make different bass and just see how it comes. Actually, my first idea was to make a quite hard techno track, as I really like hard techno. But it didn't happen. I don't know why. I just tried and then I left it like this. So you have like quite simple things. You make a bit EQing here and there and low cut. Then I tried. Why did I change it? Because I didn't like it, or because so look, here's like hi-hats, but it doesn't change much. Yeah, so everything I did was just to make space for other instruments. You have to filter it a little bit out just to see what that you make space for other things you need in your track, like hi-hats, drums, and all this stuff. So after I made a low cut, I made a beat. So I looked for a kick, and here's the kick. Nothing really special. I have to look what I have here, and I don't actually really know where I have it from. What I know and what I did, it was before, when I was preparing for this live stream, I checked it out that actually the kick could punch a little bit more, and when I turn on the compressor you will hear that it just punches better than before. So if you change, I hope you can hear the difference. So it punches more. So this time I actually will leave it here, just so that you know. Yeah, and we have hey Leute, hey guys, you have to go to YouTube. You will find my link. You find the link in my bio, and then you can watch me on YouTube talking about my track. So let's do it. See you on YouTube. Just go to my bio, click on the link, and you will see what I'm doing. Yeah, okay, so so here's the kick. I just boosted a little bit. So the plugin here is a kind of what is this like? Saturator. So I saturated bass a little bit because I wanted to be bigger, fatter. I think it's quite too much now, but I just left it like this and it worked. So so actually it's all right. It is all right for me, and it works. The track works in club as well. So what I want to say about it is that it's not actually that important to be perfect. Sometimes it's just okay to be okay with music production, and if the track is okay and people like it, then you will get your mistakes will be excused. So that's the kick. What do we have here? There's an oscilloscope I just use to watch my waveform going. As I use the compressor, I use it always like this just to see what happens with the audio after compressing. So you see actually here in the front we have more attack and it's louder and it has more punch, and that's the thing you want to have when you have a kick. And then what then? Genau, so now we have I just turn it off, so that's the kick. Then I have rumble and sub bass, and I know that I didn't use the sub bass because I used just the rumble. Two of them together would clash. It would be too much. That's why I put them. I just had to decide, and let's listen how it sounds. I don't know if you hear it because you actually need some headphones to hear it, as it's really bassy, and yeah, just check it out. If you can use some headphones to hear it, it's always better in such situations like live streams about music production. And if you hear them together, maybe you will hear some difference. Let's check it out. So that's the kick alone, and with the rumble. So what you can hear, for sure, that gets a little bit more of this hard techno character. Yeah. After that, we have some bass. I did it with Serum. And how did I start going for it? Let's have a listen first. Yeah, so quite a lot of processing, as you can see on the whole chain. What do I have? I have Trance bass from Serum. I think I didn't even change it that much, maybe some envelope settings or something, but I didn't change that much. Yeah, then I used the LFO tool to shape my 16th note. As you can see, it's a 16th bass. But I like to use LFO tool to shape the 16th. I will show it to you without shaping. So it's not that crispy, not that punchy, and the notes are much longer if I don't shorten up. That's why I just used it. All right, and then I used the second LFO tool to make a sidechain. I do it always like this, or in most cases, and if you see them together. So here's the 16th. You can see it here down there. It's the 16th note, and here's a quarter note with sidechain on those first 16th or the first 8th note. Yeah, and so that's the first thing I did. And of course, I took the sounds. I took the melody or the tones from the chords from the song. So I checked it out and tried it with guitar or something. So we have D, then F, then A, and then D again, and that's what you just put into and play it. Yeah. Then we have some EQing. So what I did here is for sure cut off the lows, because we have like this rumble here, which is really bassy, and then would clash together, and you wouldn't have enough space to use them together in one song. And actually, you need only the upper harmonics of the frequencies of the bass. So have a look if I play everything together now. It doesn't change much. Hey Leute, auf jeden Fall, wer zugucken möchte, bitte den Link in meine Bio checken. Da bin ich gerade bei YouTube und rede über den Track. Komm vorbei. Alright. So now, after it's really not much EQing. If you have a look, it's like I have one frequency which was really bouncy. So I just used some dynamic band to tame this frequency, to keep it down and make it a little bit controlled. It's like a kind of compression. It's compression actually on this band. I think it's not something you would really hear that much, but when you have many tracks together, they will sum up, and actually in the end you're going to have many problems with mixing. That's why I just did it. So let's hear it with and without. So the bass is not that bassy. It's actually really mid-range bass without much of fundament. So this was really the thing. I wanted to keep it like this, and because I thought it was enough in altogether. Yeah. Then we have after EQing, I was distorting, overdriving the bass. I distort almost everything I have. I didn't do it in the beginning, and at some point somebody told me and showed it to me how it works, and now actually I can't produce without distorting. So yeah, if you have a listen, again with and without, I have actually two. I have distortion and saturation. So I will make a hotkey on those, so you can hear it with and without. Let's put 6 on it. So now we can turn them off together. Okay, so with. So again without, and then with. Just watch the on-off switch here. Off, on. Yeah, so I think if you don't saturate it and distort it, sounds lame. I know, maybe you could call it lame. So it's not that fun and doesn't sound that fat. Actually, you have a feeling it gets not fatter, but like crispier. And I didn't want the bass from this, only the mid range and the upper range. That's why it was important to get so much bass from this. Yeah. And then let's hear it together. Let's hear the group together. Let's have a look. Kick. It should be this one. Okay. So that's how it sounds. Here again, soothe on this, wasn't it? Yeah, soothe to get rid of a few nasty frequencies, and just to clean it up a little bit. So let's hear it with and without. Yeah, it's actually, you can't hear it that much, I think. I hear a little small difference, but it's really small. So actually, I don't know if that's so important to use it on this place, but I think it was for my good feeling, and that's why I left it here. And I like this plugin a lot because it's like almost automatic, and it's it finds the frequencies on its own, so you don't have to move the EQ from one side to another just to find those frequencies which move all the time, and sometimes you have ones which is louder than the other, so it's like dynamic one. It's really cool thing. Then we have auto filter, which let's have a look. What do I have here? So it's like nothing special, just going for a standard. Yeah, just going for a standard automation to make rise up. So we want to go down a little bit in a break and then build up the tension so that we can drop again and just go for it, and yeah, so that it feels powerful. What did I do? Okay, yeah, so nothing really crazy. And then I have a gain, and gain I used because it was kind of a mixing thing. Let's have a listen. Yeah, so it was like, again, just fading in, but instead of just fading in with the frequencies, I wanted to come it from silenter into just normal loudness. Yeah, so that's the thing. Nothing complicated, actually. If you have any questions, just write into the chat. I can see you on YouTube. And to everyone who is watching on Instagram, you can just go to my profile on Instagram and check out the link in the bio, and have a look at this beautiful session. Have a look. Here's what I'm talking about, my track. So just go to my profile on Instagram, check out the link. Okay, next part. Let's take something different. Maybe it now not drums, which would actually come after this, but let's go to the fun part, and let's have a look about how it works together with the vocals and some synth stuff, because it's the thing I like more than drums. I'm kind of a melodic guy, and so trancey things and trancey stuff, it's more thing I would prefer doing. Yeah, what do we have here? I don't know. Let's have a listen. Pad. High pad. Get brass stuff. Then what's this? Ah. So that's a great silent patch I found somewhere. Let's have a look. So as you can see, I don't have so many things here going on. It's like 3 synthesizers here. Then we have the main part from the song. So there's a lot of melodic stuff there. That's why I didn't have to use so many synths, and then just a bass and so on and so on. Yeah. So let's have a look for a short moment on this one. As you can see, I just copied the same part over and all over it again, because I needed just the main part of the song, the main theme. Scheiße, irgendwas habe ich gelöscht. I don't know what I deleted. So 6. That's the thing I didn't want. All right. So again, you can see it's filter and EQing. I talked about it already. Then I use some saturation, actually quite a lot from on here. I think it was about getting back some stuff from here, which I got rid of just to feel it a little bit different, so it doesn't sound really empty. Then I used some compression because I wanted to make it fatter and more controlled. It's here, so let's have a listen, maybe here. So it's like really glue compression. I just want to squeeze it a little bit more and don't have so much dynamics, so that I can push it a little bit more forwards and make it a little bit harder sounding. Yeah. And then what did I do next? It's like filter automation just to bring the movement. Ja. Leute, auf jeden Fall den Link in meine Bio checken. Da gibt es den Link zur YouTube und da könnt ihr richtig in guten Qualität euch das angucken, was ich hier erzähle. Okay, then let's have a listen with the rest of the song. Yeah, and so on. You know the song already. Then it was, I have utility to, I wanted to make it a little bit not that bright in stereo panorama. That's why I used the utility to make it a little bit smaller. Let's have a look how it changes the sound and what happens actually with it. So you have to really use headphones to hear it. So I will just exaggerate so that you know what I mean. That's really mono. And the other one was just the opposite, so going really strong, where the side signal is really louder than the middle sound, which you actually don't want because you can have some phasing problems. That's why, I just made it a little bit smaller so I can put the synthesizers on the side and just fill it in space and just put it more in the middle, which worked. And what do we have here now? EQing. And if you ask me why did I do it like this, I would quite for sure answer it with the vocals. Let's have a look. Because you want to, or I want to make space for the vocals. Where is the EQ? Where do I have it? Here's one. Only one? Okay, only one. Yeah, so I really boosted it quite a lot. and it's just like more or less the same space here. Yeah, a little bit more to the left, but still, that was the idea, just to put the vocals into the mix and just make space somewhere else. It looks like a lot of boost, I know, but actually, who cares? Just boost however you want to and wherever you want to. The most important thing is that it will sound good, and it sounded okay at this point. That's why I left it like this. A compressor here. We had it already. Then the next track is off because that was the instrumental, which I used to just cut off the parts for here. So it was like my spare track just to use it. And cool thing which I have here, which may be quite interesting, it was more kind of arrangement thing than mixing. It was about how I will go from chorus to the verse, if you wanted to call it like this. So let's have a look. And if you ask me why did you do it like this, I can tell you why. Because I want to go from the chorus to the verse. Let's hear it with this song. If I wouldn't do it, I would have... Let's see what comes here. Yeah, so it was again starting, like making the loop back to the front, and let's just hear it and let's see how it sounds without this cutting. So you can hear it. That's the thing I didn't want to. That's why I looped it like this, so you can hear it like. And then filtered it out just until it disappears altogether once again. Okay, then I think that's all. So it's always the same. Actually, it's always the same. It's really I did it quite quickly because there are not so many tracks, like 26, 27, and some groups. So even not, I think there's maybe 22 or something. And these clips are off. Just turn them off. I just try to work around to the place to find the best arrangement. Yeah, so now let's have a look on the next synthesizer. That's the pad. Yeah, so Hypersoul layout. That's the preset I used, and what did I do here? Actually, I have to have a look. I don't think I changed that much here because I am quite lazy when you talk about it. Yeah, so I did a low cut, and then I just made the side signal, so the stereo signal, a little bit quieter, but it's like almost nothing, 1 dB, so almost 1 dB, so you can see it's not that much. But I like this way. Then I, of course, saturated this to make it a little bit crispier. Once again, twice, as you can see in the bassy and the low mids and just all over again. Here I boosted the mids and here boosted the highs. And I turned on the soft clipping, so let's hear it with and without. So now you can see it's really boring sounding. It's quite bassy and dull and not that clear in the sound. And if I boost it and I saturate it, it sounds really, really strong and clear and like a distorted guitar almost. Yeah, then I made it again a little bit more narrow in the stereo panorama, so I didn't want to be that bright, and just I think the best option is to show it to you how it sounds with and without. So let's hear it. So if you're using headphones, you will really hear it like it's going outside of it's really to the sides, to the left and the right. And if I turn it on, it goes a little back more to the middle, and that's what I wanted, because let's hear it with everything. You don't even hear it like more or less. You hear it like more tidied up in the mix and really clear in the mix than just, you know what I mean? It's something you hear more like there's something interrupting me hearing the other parts of the song. If I turn it on, it's away. So that's the thing you were going for, just to clean up the mix. Then we have sidechain. Yeah, then some filter. Let's have a look. That's the filter. What does it do? Opening up, then and so on, so on. Hey Leute, ich sehe, ihr seid noch hier bei Insta live und guckt zu. Geht gerne in meine Bio auf Insta und da ist der Link hinterlegt für die Session bei YouTube. Da könnt ihr einen besseren Sound haben und auf jeden Fall nochmal euch das angucken, was ich hier so mache. Mit gutem Ton und so weiter und so fort. Okay, so and then Soothe again just to clean it up. As you can see, this plugin is really CPU intensive. That's why you can see not the actual feedback not right away, because it takes quite a lot of CPU usage. Come on. So what you hear there is like it takes this sound of, how can I call it? It makes it a little less aggressive, a little nicer to hear, and you can actually, I think it's more pleasant for your ears to hear it all the time. When you hear it like for, let's have a look. How long do we hear it here? I can see it because there are some. Yeah. I don't want to see it. Yeah, here. 5 minutes. So hearing it for 5 minutes all the time, I think it could be tiring. Maybe it's nothing you will really understand why it's so tiring for you, but I think it makes a difference, so that's why I want to have it. Yeah. What did I do? Okay. Yeah, and then we have another one, which is like just another one to, this is the high, that's the high. Pad. And it's again Serum, slow pad. Yeah, let's have a look. Reverb, EQ, and I have a reverb here as well. We have some EQ, like again, low cut, and some EQ here on 700. So you hear it if I turn it off or on, it's getting louder, and I would say we're going to hear it with everything. So now you see it. If I turn it off here, just the whole track on and off, you can really hear that it's not really loud, and something you would really hear as we listen to it in solo. But actually, when I turn it off, there's something missing in the track. So it's a good point for sure to just fill your frequency spectrum. And it's also the thing because I'm using the delay and the reverb, it gets brighter, so the whole song is getting quite wide, and you can hear it on your headphones if you use them. All right, so let's hear them together, like this one and this one somewhere here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so sounds nice. You have a low and a high frequency. You put them together, and then it sounds fancy. Then what do we have here? We have a rack, which I do like this, and I learned it from a friend of mine as well. We have just a clean signal, so there's no effect on it. It's just normal signal. Then I put a reverb on it, or a delay. I turn it to 100%, and then I can really control the signal separately between the clean sound and the affected sound. Why is it important, or why I do it like this? It's because if you just put your delay on the channel and use this dry wet knob, what happens is, like, as much as you go for 100% wet, the dry signal is going to get quieter, and if you go the other way, it's going to happen with the wet signal. And actually, I just want to put it onto the dry signal, which I like already, and then I just want to put it onto it. That's why you can see the signal. The clean signal is about just 0, and then we have minus 7 dB on the delay. Let's have a listen, then you will know what I mean. So with that, it's really not that much. It's just the room you get to it, and if I would just turn it a little bit louder so that you can hear it. And -7 is the place or the spot where I saw, okay, I start to hear it, and so just at the point where you can just really hear it, But so I wouldn't exaggerate. As far as you can just really understand, okay, it's there. Just leave it like this and don't go much louder, because that's enough on reverbs and delays. Yeah, the same thing is with the reverb. I have it actually on the same volume. But if I would go 50-50, it would make my clean signal quieter. That's why I just made 2 channels as well here. I would say if you just try it on later, if you want to, then you will know what I mean and how it works. Or maybe I will show it to you. Just let's try it out. Just put another reverb on it. So now it's no reverb on it. Like this. And you can see that the clean signal is getting quieter because of your slow cut here. Actually, you lose the bass or the lower frequencies of this. So it's really stupid if you want to control your sound, and that's the way to go. How you can do it, you just go on... how did I do it? I have to... Yeah, so I will show you from scratch. So if you have a reverb, you just go make a group. You do it with Command G, or on Windows it's like Control G. Then you press this button and you see the chains, and then what you do is just hold Alt, drag it down, make a copy. So now you have 2 of them. Then you delete the first one, go to the second one, make it 100, and then you can just play around with all the settings, but for sure with this one, just to know how loud your reverb should be. So easy, not difficult. I will leave this live stream online so you can watch it later on and try out and just look what I did now. Yep. And then we have the arpeggiator. Yes, and I did it. Let's talk about how I did it, and then I will show you the chords and what I was thinking about it. So I have an arpeggiator. It's like a standard Ableton MIDI effect. So if you go to MIDI effects here, and you go to arpeggiator, that's the one you will get. And the style is going up all the time. 16th notes, gate is on 83. Let's play with the gate for a moment. It's funny because it works the opposite. You would actually think it would work. Because what gate does, it's shortens an envelope, so the sound should be shorter and more pluckier, but actually gets different. Then we have silent one, and we have this Trance Epic UFO preset. What do we have here? Square wave, sine wave on B. 2 sine waves on A, -1 here from octaves, here again. Not that much detuned, just a little bit, but detuning is of course really good. Here is a little more detuned, so it's really good way to make your sounds bright, wider and brighter, but for sure wider, because detuning helps a lot. Yeah. Then let's hear it without arpeggiator. great sounding. So it helps. How I did it, or how I came up with the idea. Quite easy. I just turn up on the arpeggiator, then I try the chords, and I found it by an accident. Like everything I do in producing, I have a few presets I like, but if I'm looking for something new, I'm just playing through the presets, and in the end I find something I like. Yeah, here we have EQing. So you see low cut, and here tone shaping, here making space for the vocals. Yeah, so let's hear it with everything. So you see how important it is here to boost it, to put it into the mix. So it's a lot like 5 dB, and that's how I brought it up in the mix. Then I distorted, or let's say saturated the middle part, middle frequencies, without soft clipping. I don't know why. Let's try it with. You have like less dynamics with. I don't know what I like better. Let's try with everything. I think I will leave it on because it's like more equal in the loudness. I think it's like a little bit of clipping, compressing and limiting, and so on, and making new harmonics. The chords. No, we want to talk about, so we want to talk about until the end. Then we have automation, the filter. Genau, that's the thing I meant in German. And then we have reverb. Boring, but important. It's really, really big. Do we have one reverb delay? Okay, so it was important to add it. I wasn't sure if it's with or without. So look, actually chorus mix is quite wide in the mix, so if you turn it on, and it's less, there's less attack on it, so chorus is a good way to try to make it wider and less, and with not so much attack on it. What do we have here? So quite a lot of depth with 50%, so you can really hear it quite well. Some compression to make it, to even it out, and then I even had this soft clipping to get it even more. Yeah, and the reverb. So it's like the same loudness, yes, you can hear, as you can see. Quite long, big size. Here's some low cut and high cut, so let's play with it. Just a little bit to clean it out. Standard pre-delay, 2.5 seconds. Nothing special going on. And if we... Now we want to talk about the chords. That's fun thing. As you can see, these are not that standard chords you would actually think of. So the song has... which chords do we have there? Let's try if I can... Okay, so I just... Alright, so what do we have? What? I just have to put my microphone to the front. So what we have is D minor. That's the first chord. Then we're going for F major. Then A minor. And then D minor again. And what I do and what I find every time I hear some trancey stuff, and I like playing trance quite a lot, is what I do, I try to play with suspended chords or changing out the third of a chord with some other notes. So what you can hear here, let's see what I did. So you can see there, light it up, I use D, E, F after each other. Then I go just one note farther. So I just, if I can't show it to you actually right now, but I'm just playing like three notes and then just moving it like here and there and back. So we have D, E, F. And actually what you have here is the E tone or E note, which doesn't belong to the chord. So it's a kind of addition to this chord, which makes it a little bit more suspended, I would call it. It's maybe not the suspended chord because we have third here. Third is F. So without F, sounds already really, really open. So that's what you're going for, to open up the chord. Going for the ninth, so it would be ninth or the second of the chord, or the G in this part. So I would present to you with E. And the same thing if you go with G, it happens the same. No. So okay. So we have D, A. So it's like the main note and the fifth, and so now we have to change for by the next chord. I'm just going from G to F, and I'm leaving the A just through the whole session. As you can see, I'm going from A is just through the whole part because it belongs to each of the chords. So in the D chord it's the fifth, in the F chord it's the third, and in the A chord it's the how do I call it actually, the ground sound, ground note. Yeah, so I just leave it lying, and what happens is without using the right hand, let's have a look just on the left hand. So we have D, F, then E. And that's what happens. And if we hear it together with the bass, just let's let's get the bass out. You will see what happens because there's something different happening in the bass. The bass goes D, F, A, and D again. So that's the cool thing about it. If you go from D, F, E, D, you create a melody, and that's what you want to just not to go always the same ways with or different sounds, different chords. That's why I will just put it out of the track somewhere here. Let's try it, and then I will play with the synthesizer. So this is solo, and this is solo, and I'm not hearing it because of some automation. Which one is this? Or do I have some automation here? No. Okay, we'll do a different way. I just try it here in this space. So I turn them off, and yeah, let's try. So we have so that's if I use the different sound on it. So I'm going in with the left hand through E and not going to A. And I'm going to play the same sounds as in the bass. So now you will really hear the difference. And now it's now the other one. Yeah, so that's what happens, and then I put just those high notes on it, so it sounds open. So I'm using the second and the fourth of the chords all together. Yeah, sounds like this. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I'm back here again. That's what you saw. And the next one. Then on the third chord, when I go to A, I just leave the high notes just I had them before. You can see it here. From this point, I don't change anything except for this one tone here. So here for the difference. Going down. Once again. And then back to D. Yep, so that's how it works. Yeah, let's try to hear it all together with other parts, like all those synthesizers. Without the bass first. Yeah, and if you put a bass on it, then it gets this speed and crispiness and attack, and that's what you are aiming for. Yes, and then Let's have a look. What do we use then? Hi Leute, für die zugucken bei Instagram. Ich bin auf YouTube live und ihr könnt den Link einfach in meine Bio finden. Also einfach mal auschecken und wir sehen uns hier in dem Stream auf YouTube. Okay, then we have this one together. And it starts to get quite full because you hear a lot of drums going on as well in this part. Let's loop it. Yes. There's quite a lot going on. So we have the drums there, which you can really hear well, like the clap and the hi-hats and the main melody. So what I was trying to get here is to isolate so as much as I can, but it's not possible to get out of it because you have not one sound which would be docked only on one frequency. That's why it's not possible. Let's hear it when I turn it off. So you can hear I was aiming to get the melody out of it. I tried to play it first and I used some different sounds and it didn't work well. So I decided just to use some instrumental which I found online, and I isolated it as much as I could just with the equalizer. Yeah. What's going on next? We have some drums which we didn't talk about yet, and that's the thing I did in order to have good attack on the clap. Which you can see has a lot of delay here. Some compression, EQing. Quite a lot of gain reduction. I got it silenter, not that loud, and a little bit more controlled. Then I used some clipping. Which doesn't clip. Yeah, so it does nothing, actually. Which happens from time to time if you use so many plugins. You forget if you hear it or not, but I felt better to have it. Saturation. You can hear it really well. Because you get a lot of more bass on it and more low mids is what I boosted here, so it sounds fatter. That was the point to get it. It's really nice plugin. I really like it because it's like even something more interesting than Saturator or Saturn from FabFilter. So check it out if you want to. It's not that expensive, but does really good work. So let's try. Let's see what happens if I go more. Yeah. So now you hear what happens. What it does is actually it doesn't make it louder, but it's really saturated. It creates new harmonics. Boost it a little bit, of course, but you can, if you use this option here, you can take the loudness boost out of it. So that's quite cool, because if I would turn it off, you can hear it gets louder. If I do it like this, it doesn't get louder, it gets more harmonic information and more frequencies, and that's what you're aiming for. Yeah, and I use this always that where I use the clap every time where I have a clap in the original song. Actually not. Okay, let's hear it. What happens here? Yeah, so now you can hear it. So I actually let it play here as well because I couldn't isolate it better. So you can hear it, but it's something like you would call it really fading in. Hallo Jesse, geh mal auf jeden Fall auf den Link in meine Bio und da findest du den Link zu YouTube und da kannst du es besser sehen. Und alle anderen, die zu gucken, auf jeden Fall den Link in Bio checken, da könnt ihr mich bei YouTube sehen, wie ich gerade hier präsentiere und erzähle. What you see is when it comes to the second part and I put it, I would turn it on and off again so you can really hear it. So there is a small clap, but it's nothing but it's just not loud enough, not enough impact. It's still not the loudest clap, I would say, but it just adds enough frequencies to make it hearable. So with and without. Yeah. It was important to put it in after so much EQing and changing the sound. And then I have, what do I have more? We can talk about the arrangement in a second, but first we have some white noise risers. Nothing spectacular, so I have just white noise. With low cut and some automation on the filter, so you can fade it in and out. Yeah, and some sidechain. So with sidechain and without. Without and with. Yeah, now with the song. So you can hear it pumping, and without. It's a cool effect as well, but it was nothing I was aiming for. That's why I have it almost everywhere. And if you have a look, there are many risers throughout the song. Okay. Yeah. Do I have any more drums here? Yeah, here's one group with what's inside. Let's have a look. Standard stuff. Let's talk about it first. I really find really important. Where is it now? Ah, here. That's the one you hear in the beginning of the song. Let's have a look. Yeah. And this comes from the original song, I think. Let's have a look if I cut it off from there. Seems like. But I can't actually tell what I have here because I rendered it already, but it seems like I've used some delay and effects and then low cut and then just put in front, so it's not in time. Yeah. Yeah, so it's in time actually. So it was like 16th delay and then just put it on some reverb stuff just to make it pop out in the beginning. Yeah, kick. We have here a low cut on the kick. That's it. Gets out. Yeah, so that was really, really important part of the song, and it goes really through all the song. I know it disappears from time to time because it's not that loud and not that really, really, really big sounding sound, but hallo Leute! I'm online on Instagram as well. That's why you see me sometimes talking to my telephone here. Leute, die ihr gerade zuguckt, geh mal auf meinen Bio und da ist der Link zum Livestream bei YouTube. Dann könnt ihr nochmal ein bisschen zu gucken, was ich immer mache und was ich so erzähle. Lohnt sich. Vor allem, weil der Sound ist besser. Alright, so it goes through the whole song. No automation, nothing. I don't actually know what I had here because I rendered it and I left it like this and it didn't disturb me more. That's why I left it. Then we have what we have here. 16th note hi-hat. There are no EQing. I think I EQ'd it before. I was working here with some compression, but in the end I turned it off. Standard 16 stuff. Could be even the loop, because you see, I don't know how I did it. That's a good question. Because we can see we have some accents. I would say I had some standard rack, maybe this one. Let's have a look. What does it sound? I think I used just this one. Really standard stuff. Nothing. Okay, so this offbeat hi-hat, but I use a lot of those Ableton racks, so nothing really crazy. So what I can say, I think I just made a loop with some with Ableton rack. Then I used, maybe it was some out of O-Tool. I used it quite a lot on my hi-hats. Then I rendered to audio and small EQing for sure. There was some low cut because you see it's cleaned up. And if you have, normally if you use some hi-hats, you have always something going on here which you actually don't hear. But if you use it with many tracks, it will make your mix dirty and muddy. That's why I always just go for it like this, and then you're sure you're safe. Yeah, then we have open hi-hat. It's a shaker. Same stuff, just good sounding shaker, enough attack on it, some panning as well. I don't even have any reverbs or something, nothing. That's funny. Yeah. I think the most important thing is not about working on samples until they sound good, but you have to learn how the sample sounds good first. That's something I learned through the time. It's like there are so many good samples and so many sound good already. So if you know what you're looking for, try to find something similar, and of course compare it to different tracks so that you know actually what you're hearing to, because sometimes you think it's good but actually it's not that good because you didn't compare. That's the thing I had a lot, which I was fighting with, and then I started to compare, and after comparing you get your results much faster. Another one. Beautiful ride loop. How I did it. I took a ride sound. Ride loop tier 8. I made it with tier 8, I think. From Roland. I have it here, if in case you don't know it. So I just took it and recorded it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Now you can see it. Yeah. And then I resampled it, put it into simpler. So I had only one piece of sound, like this. That's how I did it. And then I put it in eighths. So how it looked like was like, come on, like this. So it sounded. Is the loop too small or what? Yeah, so it's really annoying, like this. But if you put an LFO tool on it, here's where the magic happens. So you take it here to the left, so you have no clicks on the sound. And then it's not that annoying anymore. Without? Really stupid, really annoying and tiring. And I think it's cool thing to look for. If you had only offbeat right, it would sound like this. Come on, just a second. So you lose a lot of ambience from the sound, and if you have it still on but a little bit silenter on the first part of the like on the first part here, it's still there, so you have the ambience of this sound, but just no attack, and then you can try and have a look what you like better. Let's see what you had. Or maybe somebody would go like this. So just this signal drops just for a second, but I don't ever do it like this. I always do it almost more or less like this. So that's my standard preset. Really important it is for sure to take this point a little bit to the left, so you don't have any clicks. If you would leave it like this, you can hear it here actually, but in some on bass or something like this, you can really hear the click. It would make your mix sound worse. And the other part is that I have to correct. I have to make it right. Yeah. So yeah, now it looks good. So it's about compression and stuff, and if you sometimes the click causes a lot of big signal gain, and then it sounds strange. So just look always for it not to get any clicks. Then we have another one, and I would you can read it here. Right loop low. So I think I either transposed it in in Ableton, or I just transposed it on the tier 8. So I have just finer sound, really a little bit brighter together. Just let's have a listen on all those two together. Just one of them. And you can see one of them is to the right, one of them is to the left, so you get really big stereo sound with enough ambience. Yeah. Then we have, what is this? Again, some 16th sounds. Okay, it's not off. Let's have a look. I don't know if you can really hear it, but it gives a little bit more drive to it. So if you have it on, it's really something really subtle, but it makes it feel faster, and you can hear it actually. Not that much, but it's there, so it makes it more drivey. Yeah, and now what's here? Alright, I think I had this one in intro as well. Yes, that's the sound. It's just a standard loop I have from somebody. Or maybe, I don't think I bought it, I got it from somebody. What we have here is a mix of shaker and hi-hat. Yeah, and in the intro you can hear it really well. I just play from here. Yeah, so it's just really aggressive, and I was, as I said, I was going for this hard techno sound. That's why I was looking for some harder sounding percussions, but then it turned out to be hard trance. Yeah. Okay, now maybe let's have a short look on the arrangement, and then I have to go home because it's getting late and I have to work tomorrow. From the beginning, just I have to have a look first. What did I do? So what I know is for the intro, that's important, quite an important thing. There is no bass change. It's only one note. As you can see, it's only one note. It's the note. The sound, just like the key of the song, D sound. And why do I do it? Because you don't, if you're going to play it as a DJ, you want this song to be quite easy to mix, and if there's a lot of going on, then it's more difficult to change it, to mix it in. So let's hear it to all the stuff going on in this intro from synthesizers. So because of this point that you have only one note, it's much easier, and there's really not much going on in the song. I was quite lazy to get anything. I have no effects, nothing. I just let it go with some hi-hats, but really basic arrangement, just putting on more elements until it builds up, and taking off the kick for a short time, then a short build up with noise, and then going into the break. Yeah, let's have a look. Everything. So we have a kick with a low cut and a bass, which is being faded in. It's still one note all the time. Now the kick. Yeah, and so on. We don't have to play it throughout. Then we have what's here. Okay. So you can hear with this right loop you get even more ambience in the high top end, which you should aim for sure to fill all the frequency spectrum throughout the song, throughout the track. I have to... Ole, du musst den Link in meine Bio checken und dann bist du bei Instagram, bei YouTube kannst du mitgucken, was ich hier so mache und treibe. Und da ist der Ton und ist alles da. Einfach mal checken. So. Now, and here's the first part. So after 1 minute 20 of intro, you get into the first intro break, and that's the point where I change the chords. So now you can hear why I change the chords, because the bass varies, and that's the thing where you get an impression of changing chords. So actually bass tells you if the chords are changed or not. It's like this in music. So let's have a look what happens if I just play the same tone. It clashes. It sounds stupid. That's why you need to change the chords. And I'm just, as you can hear, I introduced the vocals here. They're here.
Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by.
And I introduced the main theme here. And here change the chords as well. That's why you have to go with the bass again to put it into. And what's important when I was comparing those edits and how you make an edit, it's quite important to tease the song and the parts which come later on. So if you have a look, I have so slowly. So I have here comes the verse, then I have the main theme with melody. And then comes the verse again. But without the main theme, so you can see it here. I just have to get it smaller. That's not what I wanted. Oh, Digga. So let's do it like this. No? Okay. So, that's the group. This one's on. Alright, so now you can see it better. As soon as I turn off here the melody, if we let's try it with it. The chords clash again. That's why I took it out. Once again, just a repetition. Comes a new element. So now comes after I had some vocals going on, main theme vocals. Now I have an instrumental break again. And still there was no chorus. That's quite important because I have this feeling that when you here's the kick. So when you should use the chorus for the main break. It sounds better. It makes you wait for it. If you play it just in the beginning of the song, it's like it happened already, and it's not so exciting anymore. So it's quite easy. I had some vocal stuff, then I put some instrumental stuff, introducing the new synthesizer, the arpeggiator, and as you can see, I faded in. So let's play it from here. Fading in here. Repetition. Now I take off the clap. So that's the part when you can see, okay, the break is getting introduced, because I take out some elements, the hi-hats. I take them off, and I take off the snare. As soon as you take off the snare, it sounds always like it's going for a break, building down the sound. So once again. Yeah, some white noise and filter, and you can hear the tick-tock. And that's the point where I introduced the chorus. So it took the half of the song to get into the chorus, and that's quite important because the people are waiting for it. And if you put in too, as I said before, if it's way too much in the front, it's going to be lame later, and you have to save it for later just to make it pop more. So let's hear it. It's getting faded in with a filter. And the bass is coming. Maybe it would be quite cool to see how it works without this gain. I think it will just jump in, and this is what I didn't want. Let's check it out. Yeah, so it's not that dramatic with the bass, but I think it works. It's more fluent. It's softer, yeah. Now some hi-hats. And again, the main theme. The same. Blah 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 blah. And then comes the verse again. But this time with the arpeggiator, that's new, I think, isn't it? It's a chorus, something different. And here was no. So you can see here's the verse. And there was no sign. It's here, you can see that it's here, but it's actually gets faded in, that's why it doesn't count. And here it's like in the end you want to put everything just in one to make it like a big finale, and you want to put everything together. So that's why that was my idea, just to use the arpeggiator with the vocals, which works well, I think. Let's hear it.
Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. I don't know what to do. Time.
And you hear the pads going on here. And this one.
So slowly. Time goes by so slowly. I don't know what to do. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. Time goes by so slowly. I don't know what to do. Every little thing that you say or do, I'm hung up on you. Wait for your call, baby, night and day. I'm fed up. I'm tired of waiting on you. I'm hung up on you. I'm tired of waiting on you. I'm hung up on you. I'm tired of waiting on you. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. So then just putting stuff which I used before in some, maybe not random order, but just to make them sound cool and just show the people that you're going out. So you have less and less vocals, just some accents like those. Something like ad-libs maybe. Yeah, and here in the end, I like to do it like this, that I put again the snare, because you increase the energy a little bit, but not too much, and then you just take it out, and it doesn't feel boring. And that's the thing about arranging songs. It's like I have it again many times that something sounds like a loop, and then you want to make it sound not like a loop. And if you have not so many tracks like here, 26, 27, without any effects, you have to try to change things and put them in and out and automate with filter a lot, and then it works. Yeah. And in the end, standard thing I do, you have white noise and again some vocals, and all together. Yeah, fading out. I think I have some automation on the master. Yeah, I do it like this, so you just fade it out, so you don't have any clicks or something. And then I know here's Ende, which means the end of the song, and I know I can just, when I want to export it, I just select it and then export it from here and there, and I know where I have to go for. So there is one question in the chat: how many time do you take to make it? It depends how much time it takes, because I can't actually. It's different. So this track was quite fast, I think, maybe 2 sessions for about 2-3 hours. It's different, or maybe 4 hours. Sometimes I need just a month for a track because I have no idea. But I know that if I produce a lot and every day, then I'm really good in a good flow, and then I just go for it, and it sounds better, and I have some ideas that really come to my mind. And yeah, so I can't tell you. I would say it is about it's worked quite well, quite fast. So maybe, yeah, let's say 2-3 days. Really relaxed working. What did I want to say? Is there anything I want to say? Yeah, one thing I wanted to say, maybe it's like if you don't know what to do with a song and maybe how to find new ideas, it's always quite cool just to put some samples into it in random places, and if you don't know how to go on, just to try something, because it could be something which inspires you to find a new idea. So when I don't know what I should do, I just try random things until I like something. So just always make a new track, new channel, just go for Command T in Ableton and put something new, and in the end you're going to find a thing you like. So thanks a lot for this insight, and also covering why you like explaining the did. There's no more. That's really okay. Cool. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you liked it. And thank you for staying for so long with me on this live stream. And maybe I will do another one in the future without so much struggle as I had before. I was trying 2 hours to get the sound out of this thing, but it worked eventually. So have a nice evening, and yeah, see you soon. And if you have any further questions, you can write me on my Instagram. Goodbye.